We are very lucky to be here at MSL reviewing their very own A45 AMG.
Since this particular Mercedes doesn't have any successful predecessors, I think this one can win the fight against the super hot hatches.
Well, let's go and find out. So we're here at the heart and soul of the first 4-cylinder AMG. This is not any old A45, this has been fine-tuned by MSL Performance, which means it produces a whopping 434 brake horsepower and 490 pound-foot of torque. It's so fast that even MSL have not even recorded its 0 to 60 time. Also, this thing will eat Golf R's for breakfast, RS3s for lunch, BMW M1s for dinner, and a little night snack from Focus RS. The speed is assisted by the 7-speed gearbox, which is the fastest shifting one out of any AMG. Greeted at the front of the A45 AMG, this thing just looks furious. It was a big breakthrough when they redesigned this at Mercedes, from a tall and clumsy car to a low and sleek race car. This specific car has some of the aero pack, which is front aerofoils, a splitter, and at the back there's a little spoiler. However, this is not the full aero pack due to the claims of
weight reduction, bro. At the back, it's not your usual Mercedes. I mean, it's like a love-hate relationship depending on your personal preference. You do have sporty touches such as this spoiler, which does add downforce to improve handling. Furthermore, down here you have this incredible Y-stick exhaust that you heard earlier. Inside the boot, it's fit for purpose. You can have most family luggage in there. There is quite a high load lip, so it will be difficult to put heavier items in there. It will be reliable for the type of car it is. However, you can't really put things in there that are extraordinarily big, such as like massive suitcases. Coilovers, obviously an MSL edition. This allows the driver to stiffen the suspension to have more fun in the corners. However, this means that the car is on edge of uncomfortable, but I think this is a compromise since there's hardly any lean in the corners.
This extraordinarily beautiful animal is finished in pearl white with black and red accents, and further distinguished with standard Mercedes Bi-Xenon intelligent lighting, which is an adaptive headlight system that adapts automatically to ongoing weather, light and driving conditions. At dusk and during the night, it provides added light and enhanced safety.
As well as this beast comes standard with AMG multi-spoke wheels. Also, it has a custom Y-stick straight pipe exhaust, which gives it all the pops and bangs in all the right places. This car does look amazing, but it might stand out a bit too much for most people with the aero pack, seeing as it's not as subtle as the Golf R or the Audi RS3. But it's still the most aggressive looking out of all of them.
So we're here at the front interior of the A45. We have Recaro style AMG seats, which have a Alcantara base and leather sides. The theme of this interior is black with red stitching, as you can see on the storage armrest here. In here we have an average size storage compartment, which is alright. Here you have your dual zone climate controls, Here is more or less your center where you have your entertainment screen controls. Here is a little keypad, which is an intelligent system in this car. In the storage compartment here, there's a SIM card slot, so you can use this whole car as a phone. You move up here, we have a little touch from MSL. Instead of having air vents, we have a boost gauge, which is really cool. Over here, we have our measly entertainment screen. Unfortunately, it looks like a cheap tablet brought from a cheap store, and they just put it in here and then they just left it like that. But the rest of this car, it has very good flowing lines. The steering wheel, we have a optional extra Alcantara lined with red stitching and a flat bottom steering wheel with fluffy paddles.
So here we are at the back of the Monster. As you can see, legroom is absolutely terrible. This driver's seat is set for a 6-foot man. It is incredibly outrageous. So anyone taller than me, you literally, your legs are gonna break. The headroom, I mean, it's all right because the car's designed over the normal A-Class, obviously. So the headroom's fine. All around, it's Mercedes quality, soft touch materials everywhere, leather. It's absolutely incredible to be in here. The interior is beautiful. Red accents all over the place. A very good feature of the back of this car, you can drop the seats down to extend the boot space, so you can put more luggage in there, which is quite a good feature since this is a family hatchback. This absolute beast of an animal is not only the most expensive to buy in the A-Class family, but also the most expensive heart hatchback. Once passing the purchase price of nearly £40,000, you'll be pleased to find out that at least the fuel economy is not that bad. With CO2 emissions of 162 grams per kilometre, 40.9 miles per gallon, the A45 could be a very good contender. Finally, when it comes to resale time, this car holds its value very strongly thanks to not only its relative rarity, but also its appeal to many enthusiasts. Well, we've come to the end of this review, and this insane machine has proven to us to be very fast in a straight line, has a great four-wheel drive system to allow for sublime handling, and a practical hatchback body. However, we have found out that this suspension, although it can be altered, it is quite firm. Furthermore, the claustrophobic interior is a bad factor about this car. Nevertheless, all these points are just nitpicking, as this car really does prove to be a great all-rounder. You can use it for shopping, getting the family around and taking your friends out, or even taking the car out to a racetrack to feel what this magnificent car can provide. We have compared the A45 AMG to its class. For comfort, it scored 3 out of 5. Practicality, also 3 out of 5. Running costs, 4 out of 5 because it is better than expected. Performance, 5 out of 5. And finally, safety, also 5 out of 5.
We hope that you've enjoyed our review. Please
Like, subscribe.